With me on this Monday conversation is Brian Minbiel.
Sir.
All right, boy, I got it right. I said it with hesitation. Brian, you are the rep for both Callaway Golf and also for Odyssey Putters. And Odyssey Putters, I love them. I have one. And it took a lot to get me away from my old putter because I putted with a hickory shaft putter that my grandfather gave me from the 1930s, and I would not give this sucker up for a long time, and I wanted to honor him. Part of the reason why I played it. Made a lot of putts with it, but I just really thought that long term well, I had to make the switch, and maybe I can pull it out on those days that wear knickers or something once a year. But there's so much is happening with putters, and why don't you tell us about them? I'm holding them, and you know all about these things.
Well, there's a couple of things. Callaway bought Odyssey in 1997, and they were a very strong player in the putter business, and Callaway has done a really good job of letting Odyssey be its own kind of standalone company. And this, it's very synonymous with putters. We were the first company to really popularize the insert idea, which does two things. One is it's a feel enhancer by giving you different materials in here based on the ball you use or the greens you play. But more importantly, when that area is cut out and a lighter material is put in, you've got significantly more weight put in the toe and heel or in the back of the putter that stabilizes the stroke. So you've got a greater opportunity for putting the putter on the line.
Now, to make sure I understand what you mean by insert, this insert is the white piece that you see right here. That you should probably be able to see on your screen. And I've noticed that with my putter. My putter's a little beat up now because I've been putting a lot with it the last couple of years. Now, you say, what does that do with this? This helps give you stability as you putt to make sure you have more of a true roll?
The insert is definitely feel driven. So some softer inserts will make a firmer golf ball feel better. Some of the firmer inserts will give you a resonant click at impact. Half of your sensation of feel is sound. But when the material that's in here is significantly lighter than the steel it's displacing, it allows us to take that material and put it in the outsides of the putter, which allows this to be much more stable on an off-center hit. So as you see, you got to go a long way off-center before that putter head moves at all. So it gives you a greater level of forgiveness to get the ball rolling on line.
Now, you said before we started rolling today that this putter also has another significance besides. We talk about made in Michigan. You have this with your. You have this here with your. I can't even think of the word. The handle or.
With the grip.
The grip.
With these oversized grips.
And it also has something to do with down here as well. And I thought you were talking about how is it this? Oh, it's this putter. I got the. All right, I'm getting my putters mixed up here. But go ahead. Now, what's the point of the I call them forks. What do you call them?
Yeah, this Fang number 7, which is our model for this putter, has become our most used model in professional golf. It's also our biggest selling model. It has actually displaced the famous 2-ball in terms of use on tour. It started out a little bit as a joke by our putter designers, but it's to the point now where it is a design that allows for tremendous alignment, but the further back the weight goes into a putter, the greater the opportunity is for that ball to get a forward roll, less skidding.
Now, in these putters, you know, you're dealing, now this putter retails for, you know, $179. You know, a lot of people, they don't understand this. You can spend $1,500 easily on a really good set of clubs, but really your scoring is it comes down to 1 or 2 clubs in your bag. You know, you got to chip it if you miss it, and your putter in your bag. And so people are trying to buy these $29 putters at you know, Shaft World or someplace, and I don't think I would trust that. I think I would want to go with someone who's done a lot of scientific research to help me get the ball in the hole.
Well, it is one of those deals, you know, based on the player. I mean, 40% of your strokes can be taken on the green, and while I'm thrilled that people spend big money on drivers, this is a real important area of your game. And a putter can be a feel builder, it can be a confidence builder, but there is definite science in putting for fitting and for what meets your eye and what actually fits your stroke. That can definitely make a huge difference on the greens. We talked about this tank model, which is
it's heavy. I mean, I'll tell you what.
It's a significant weight. You know, with the USGA banning the anchoring position, there were a lot of folks who enjoyed these belly and longer length putters because the head was so heavy. So we took that head weight, you know, 400 grams, and put it into a relatively standard length putter. but didn't just stop there. So the shaft is heavier, the grip has a counterbalance underneath it. So the putter balance is very much like a standard length putter, but you get that sensation of extra weight, which is allowing that club head to stay very stable through the impact area.
But the big thing is that people are going to have to obviously bend over. They're getting that. I mean, that's what the, that's what the USGA and everybody wanted you to do. But like you say, you get the feel of the weight. And now you could still kind of grip it with the hand down there and come through if you want with it. You just can't anchor it against your chest or your belly button or in the belly region, so to speak. Yeah, I mean, this here's a dynamic type putter. I'm not sure if this is kind of where I want to go yet, but I think for a lot of gentlemen, in the old days, it was the old cigar chomping senior members that were going to these, but then you started seeing your Adam Scotts and your other players that were starting to win with these, and now even high school players, I occasionally, not very often, but I do see, like when I cover the AJGA, I'll see a player get out there and hit one with one of these types of putters.
Part of what may have scared the USGA and the RNA is seeing very young players adapt to these right away and would have never putted in a standard format without anchoring. What's been interesting is Tank has been our most used putter and the #1 putter on the European Tour for the last 6 weeks. So some of that is from players going out of belly and any sort of anchoring, but the other fact is that it's a very stable way to putt on greens that are probably a whole lot more representation of the greens that you and I play on, slightly slower than what you'll find on the PGA Tour.
This putter here is a putter with some significance to it, and take us through Mr. Mickelson. I guess we have to turn it around for
Right.
Phil, but this putter here, I really took to it the first couple times I hit it.
Versa is brand new for us this year, and our goal was to create an alignment story in an area that you often don't get the opportunity. So you see the larger blades, and with 2-ball you can do a bunch of different things in terms of visual alignment, but in the smaller areas you usually can't. So by going white, black, white, or black, white, black, it comes in both formats, you can very clearly see early on with those parallel lines if the putter is not squared up to your target. And alignment is the major issue for players. So for Phil, who has really great putting days and some not so great putting days, this fit him with his eye, and he was able to align the blade. So he used this Versa #9 to win the British Open, and it's definitely caused to create a stir because it's so visual on television, like the 2-ball, you can see when a player is using a Versa model, and that often translates nicely into sales.
So yeah, and I imagine you're already starting to feel that with some of the vendors, because you service Carl's, but other vendors too, because you have a territory. Now you also mentioned that Phil kind of did a hybrid move. He not only used well, there you go. He not only used the Versa putter, which I like, and I may have to get out and go buy one of these things, but he also, well, I'll let you tell us about it.
Well, Phil worked with a number of different grips, and he tried to claw and he tried to go cross-hand, and Phil, what would Phil do next is clearly applicable because he's definitely an experimenter. There's a local company called Superstroke out of Dearborn, Michigan here, who has popularized these oversized grips. And it has taken the tour by storm. It has done exceptionally well in retail. We have partnered with this company to put Super Strokes on our Versa putters. It's tremendous in that it helps quiet the hands, which for a lot of folks who struggle with the smaller grips, this is a great way to help square the blade at impact.
Is this the anti-yipper, so to speak?
There's an awful lot to be said for that, and I am an advocate and a believer in this technology and have this grip on my Odyssey putter as well. And it's one of those deals where if you have an existing putter you like, you can get a Super Stroke placed on it, or as you're buying a new putter, you can certainly get one with one already installed.
Yeah, I can certainly see myself getting this grip, and for me, do a lot of players tell you that it's not even a matter of the cost, whether you're spending $89 or $189 or even more on a putter, you want something you feel very comfortable with, and I would, if it's a medium price putter, I'm not going to spend $80 if I don't feel comfortable with it, but I'll spend it all day. If that's the putter for me, I will spend and get the most expensive putter, because to me, shaving a couple strokes off and around, making 1 or 2 putts, that bomb or that 6-footer is going to do it. If that'll quiet the hands for me, a $20 investment, for as much as you spend to play a good round of golf, I mean, that's something that I'm going to pretty much do. Now, one final thing on putters. I know that monkey see, monkey do. I know last year when Bubba won with the big pink driver, they were out in the golf shops. I don't know how well they sold, but when Phil hits with one of these, you'll make sales until what, the next big sensation comes along, or how does that work?
There is a tremendous carryover effect. We're old enough to remember the '86 Masters with
Jack
Nicklaus,
raising a hand, yeah.
the McGregor response putter, and they sold 6, 7, 8 times what their forecast was. We were doing exceptionally well with Versa before. Phil has definitely caused a spike. There's a tremendous credibility that comes when the better player sees a tour player use it, but also the average player, and Phil is incredibly likable. They're looking, well, Phil made a change. Well, that's at least something worth considering. My goal, and Callaway and Odyssey's goal, is if I can get somebody into this putter corral, I've got a big enough variety and a big enough opportunity for being fit with a putter that if it's a Versa putter that Phil uses that lures you in here, there's a great opportunity for you to find the right model for you.